Hi everyone, welcome back to our doubles tennis tactics series. Last week we discussed lobs in doubles. Today we'll be focusing on poaching. We'll cover the types of poaching, we will discuss the keys to success when poaching, and finally we'll analyze poaching per command on a wide serve and poaching per command on a T serve. So what exactly is poaching? Poaching is a common strategy performed in doubles in which a shot directed toward the player who is positioned further back from the net than his partner is picked off by the partner who is close to the net. Before we go into details on poaching, let's take a look at net player's territory that he is responsible for. In general, a net player is responsible for any ball traveling within 2 steps of his reach. In this diagram, you can see general net player's territory to cover on a wide ball. As you can see, in this situation, the server hit a wide serve or just hit a wide cross-court ground strokes. And as we discussed in our movement session for doubles, the server's partner needs to foul the ball 1 step diagonally across towards the doubles alley. Now, his territory he's responsible for is outlined by the dotted pink lines. Anything coming to the right of the dotted pink line is the responsibility of the server. In the next slide, we can see the territory changes slightly because now the serve is directed down the middle, down the tee of the court or the ground stroke. And now you can see the service partner again needs to foul the ball 1 step diagonally, this time towards the middle of the court. And his responsibility territory is again outlined with the dotted pink lines. Anything to the right of the dotted pink line is the responsibility of the server. There are 3 types of poaching. Poaching per reaction, poaching per anticipation, which could be technical or tactical, and poaching per command. This situation arises when the receiver returns a defensive shot or normal cross-court rallying shot with a slightly high trajectory that passes over the middle of the court. The challenge for the server's partner is that he must get comfortable with leaving his territory to poach per reaction. The service partner must have "this ball is mine" attitude and act accordingly. This mindset requires discipline because an opportunity to poach per reaction may only arise a few times per match. When performed, it sends a clear message to the opponent that he cannot defend safely. The net player in this diagram will seek anything from a high defensive return to a normal rallying shot that passes through the middle of the court. This type of shot is represented with dotted pink line number 1. If the service partner contacts the volley quite high, he should hit it down the middle of the court or wide depending on his reach. If his contact point is below the net level, then he's aiming his volley wide of the court and trying to hit a short angle volley. The server should not expect his partner's volley to end the point and always should change sides immediately. As you can see, the server's partner would not attempt to poach on hard cross-court ball, which would be the dotted line number 2, or angled cross-court ball, which is the line number 3. Poaching per anticipation is the most difficult poach to master. The challenge is to anticipate and time the poach correctly. For example, not to move too early. Players use 2 types of anticipation to predict or read a cross-court shot. It could be the technical anticipation, and that is when the service partner reads the way the receiver is going to hit the return, or the tactical anticipation. In the tactical anticipation, the service partner predicts from situational factors that the return will be cross-court. For example, he notices on certain types of serve or big points that the receiver always hits cross court. Poaching per command or signal is achieved by coordinating a poaching action between the server and server's partner either verbally or by using a signal. This poach is very safe since both players agree to switch at the same time. The net player tries to intercept the cross-court return and the server covers the potential down-the-line return. This poach is important one to master because it develops a real team play and creates uncertainty in the receiving team. It is also useful for removing good cross-court returns, especially the angled returns. There are three keys to success when poaching per command or signal: good communication, effective disguise, and understanding of the territory to cover. During communication, both players agree prior to starting the point that there will be a poaching action. The server's partner needs to know where the location of the server will be in order to move forward to the appropriate location at the sound of the serve. The location of the serve could be either a wide serve or a T serve or into the body serve. It is recommended to communicate verbally, which we call the command poach. Players communicate verbally before a point to decide tactics, location of the serve, and whether poaching will be performed. Server's partner can also use hand signals to indicate the location of the serve and his intention to poach or not. That's called the signal poach. In order to disguise the poach effectively, both the server and the server's partner initially move forward as usual before initiating the cross. Positioning is the real challenge of the poach per command and the main reason why many doubles players are reluctant to poach. Very few players know that the positioning at the court coverage requirements change for wide and T serves. The problem teams have in performing this poach successfully comes from the net player believing that he needs to change the sides instead of only moving to the middle line. As a result, he either moves too far, opening up the middle of the court, or moves too soon, believing that he must rush to switch the sides. When serving and volleying, the server needs to make the first two steps forward to disguise the poach and then quickly move to the other side to cover the down-the-line return. The server is responsible for the area to the left of line 1. So this is the server's responsibility. The area between lines 1 and 2 represents the territory to cover for the server's partner. Keep in mind that both players initially move forward and then switch direction right before the receiver is about to hit the ball to effectively disguise this movement. Now let's take a look at poaching per command on a T serve. Applying the same method as for a wide serve, we can now establish the territories for the server and the server's partner. In this situation, you can see that the server hit a wide down the T serve or just down the middle ground stroke, and the server's partner and the server will initially move 2 steps forward to properly disguise the poach, and right before the receiver is about to strike the ball, then they will perform the poaching action, where the server's partner will move diagonally across, intercept the middle of the court, and cover any balls between the dotted pink lines number 1 and 2. The server is responsible for any balls to the left of the dotted pink line number 1. As you can see, the server has to cover a smaller territory when performing poaching per command on a T serve, and therefore many doubles teams are reluctant to poach on wide serves where the server's territory is slightly bigger. Finally, It is important to understand that the distance the net player must travel to poach on a wide serve and tee serve is essentially the same because of different initial starting positions for the two serves. Thank you for watching our poaching clinic. If you have any questions or comments, please post them on our Monroe Sports Center Facebook page. If you missed any of our previous sessions of this doubles tennis tactics series, you can find them on our Monroe Sports Center YouTube channel under videos. Next week, we'll be introducing more advanced strategies in doubles. Specifically, we'll be talking about Australian doubles and I formation. Thank you for watching. Be safe, stay healthy, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.